Hey, this is Casey Demchek, and this week I want to talk to you about how you can deliver more value to readers who buy your book. It's kind of a must-have thing you need to do these days to really stand out in the market. And a great way to offer more value to your readers is to offer them bonuses when they buy your book, whether they're buying your book during your initial book launch or whether you're running a special promotion. It's a really great idea to offer bonuses when you market your book. Now, I've worked with lots and lots of authors writing their book marketing copy. And when I talk about offering bonuses, many of them will say things like, well, but I've written a novel. I don't, what kind of bonuses can you offer with a novel? Or a memoir, what kind of bonuses can I offer with a memoir? Some authors also will say to me that, they just really don't have any idea about what bonuses to offer or how to offer them. So I'm going to touch on all these points and more today because it's really important for you to, in addition to your book and the impact you can make with your book, you want to provide your audience with a lot of value, and bonuses are a great way to do that. So what I'm going to do today is go over a few different book genres and give you some good ideas of bonuses you can offer with your book. And to do that, I'm going to go to my example board here. So I'm going to share my screen. We're going to get right to it. And again, this is book promotion bonus ideas. I think you're really going to like this. Again, when I work with a lot of authors, the question they'll ask me is, well, what kind of bonuses should I offer? Because they think their book might be so different or unique that there really aren't any good bonus ideas for them. So I want to cover that today. And first, I want to give you a few tips about offering bonuses. You want to offer bonuses that are quick and easy to deliver. So if somebody goes to Amazon and buys your book, you want them to be able to come back to your website and put in their order receipt number, and then you can send them to a page where there are the bonuses that they can download and get quick access to. So a great way to do that is to offer people either audio files or PDFs. And I'm going to give you some examples of the kinds of audio files and PDFs here in just a second. Another thing you can do is provide them with a link. If you're an author who's also a coach, maybe you've got a small online program that you can give away as a free bonus. Well, when people come to that bonus page, maybe you have a PDF file they can download, an audio file, but perhaps you also have a link to a program you've developed that you can give away as a bonus item. So those are 3 easy ways to offer bonuses: audio files, PDFs, and links that lead to online programs. And you can set that up on your website fairly easily. If you work with a web developer, they should be able to do that for you without too much trouble. So I'm going to touch on a few different genres. And even if I don't touch on your genre, I think I've got like 4 I'm going to go over with you, 4 different genres. I think some of these ideas I'm giving you will help you come up with something for your book. But let's say you've developed a self-development book. Potential bonus could be a quick reference checklist that summarizes some of the key principles in your book. That could be a PDF file, a pocket-sized cheat sheet of daily reminders based on your self-development principles. For an audio file, you can give them an extended interview with noted self-development authorities that you quote in your book. So if you quote some different self-development people in your book, do some audio interviews with them and then make those interviews available as a bonus that people get when they buy your book. You can also simply provide an audio version of your book as a bonus when they buy the hard copy of your book. If you've written a business book, bonuses are pretty easy. You can provide checklists with step-by-step reminders. Let's say you cover some key principles in your book. You can summarize them in checklists. And, in business, obviously, it's pretty easy to come up with checklists because a lot of business systems are very systematized, and that requires creating checklists. So you can come up with some checklists that summarize some of your key business principles or steps people should take. You can come up with templates that people should follow. Business book templates are almost a no-brainer. If you're come up with a creative business book, coming up with some templates people could follow is a great bonus to give them. And again, these could be PDF files. Audio files, again, interviews with industry authorities. So if you've written a business book about how to do better in the aviation industry or the coaching industry, and if you again mention some noted authorities in those niches, those niche markets in your book, do interviews with them and make those available as bonuses as well. And the people you interview, you're giving them free publicity. And you're positioning them as an expert in their field. So there's a good chance that they'll be open to giving you an interview that you can use as a bonus, because you're going to make that person look good. So it's fairly easy to get people to, it's pretty easy to get people to agree to be interviewed because you're giving them publicity, is what I'm trying to say. You can also create special report that expound on key points in your book. So let's say in chapter 3 of your business book, you go over a key business principle and you cover it for like 1 or 2 pages or something like that. You can make a bonus available that maybe is an 18-page special report that really expands on that particular principle. So you can just take something cool from your book and expand on it, create a special report that becomes a bonus you give away along with the book. And again, you can just create an audio version of your book. That's always kind of a go-to bonus you can make when you're putting bonuses together for your book. Now, take a quick break here to remind you of a bonus I want to give you. You can go to caseydemchak.com/secrets and download my free ebook, 7 Must-Know Copywriting Secrets That Sell More Books. I got a lot of cool tips and information for you in there. Again, it's about 18 pages long. You can go to the link there, but also down in the description for this video here on YouTube, I've got a link to this page. You can click it, go right to the special page I have for you and download this ebook. And it's something you really want to have within arm's reach of you when you're writing your book marketing copy. It gives you a ton of tips, and I think you'll really like it. Okay, getting back to bonuses you can offer, and I've kind of saved these 2 categories I get asked about the most, memoirs and novels. First, I'm going to touch on memoirs. Worked with lots of authors who've written memoirs, and they go, well, what kind of bonuses can I offer? I'm telling my life story or somebody else's life story. Here's some ideas, maybe photos of people and locations highlighted in your book. You can have a bunch of cool photos and make them available as a PDF document that people can get. So if let's say it's a memoir about you, you've written about yourself, maybe, your old neighborhood or your old high school or some place you lived. If you went on an exotic adventure that's part of your memoir, have a bunch of extra pictures available as a bonus. That's something that could really interest people. You can do interviews with other people who share a similar story to you. So if, I have a friend of mine who ran away from home when he was 17 years old and actually developed a very successful life and just an amazing story, so if he wrote a book about his story, maybe he can interview other people who have a similar background. I worked on a memoir for a woman whose child went through the state-run healthcare system in Belgium, and she had a crazy story to tell. She could interview people who've gone through something similar. So if think of other people who share your story, interview them, because if somebody's interested in the story of your life, they'd be interested in the story of people who have similar stories. Maybe you can create a checklist of historical facts that give your memoir context, like what was going on in the world during the time in which you're telling your story. That could be a cool bonus. And again, an audio version of your book, always a go-to bonus. Okay, novels. I get asked this one about the most. How can you come up with bonuses for novels? Now, for the sake of this example, I'm going to just assume maybe you've written a murder mystery novel, but you can apply this kind of flow of ideas I'm coming up with here to pretty much any kind of story you've written. So if you've written a murder mystery, maybe you can provide your fans with an ebook that details your 10 top favorite real life murder mysteries. Remember, if somebody's interested in the subject of a novel, like a CIA thriller, murder mystery, romance novel, they're probably interested about the same topic in real life, okay? So maybe again, coming back to the murder mystery novel, maybe you could provide them with a file containing crime scenes of infamous murder mysteries throughout history. An interview with detectives who have investigated real world murder mysteries. Again, you'll be giving them publicity, so you might be surprised how easy it is to get them as interview subjects. Maybe an interview in which you discuss the origin of your novel and your creative process. A lot of people love hearing how writers develop their stories. So you can have someone interview you about your creative process. And of course, then you can also have an audio version of your book. So kind of the overall idea with a novel is to give it some real world context. Again, people who are interested in fiction stories that are murder mysteries and romance novels or CIA military thrillers. They're probably interested about those topics in real life. So go create bonuses around, the real life version of the topic of your novel, and probably draw a lot of interest from your crowd. So these are I've given you a bunch of ideas for bonuses. I think you're kind of getting now that no matter what your book is about, there are ideas for bonuses. You just have to be a little bit creative, think through it a little bit. And if you are able to offer your crowd bonuses when they buy your book, you're going to be giving them much more value. And you're going to, and that's going to motivate them to buy your book. Now, here's a little thing I want to leave you with. One strategy, and I'm going to actually make another video on strategies you can use for bonuses, but one real quick one right off the top. Make your bonuses so cool, people will buy your book to get them. I've worked on many big book launches, and some of them I've worked on, the author's idea, they had a good, strong book, but they thought, I'm going to offer such, 3 or 4 really cool bonuses so that people really want the bonuses, and they'll think, gee, to get these really cool bonuses, all I have to do is buy the book. And there's nothing wrong with that. So if you have a really good book and you can also include some super cool bonuses, it just could put in people's minds that, hey, I want these bonuses, and to get the bonuses, I just need to buy the book. So that's kind of a cool little strategy you can implement. I'm going to get more into bonus strategies in my next video, but for now, I just wanted to give you some great ideas of bonuses. No matter what your book is about, there are definitely bonuses you can come up with to entice people to buy your book now instead of later or never. So I hope these tips have been helpful for you. I really encourage you to, again, I'm a big believer in providing people with as much value as you can when you're selling your book, and bonuses are a great way to do that. So I hope these tips have been helpful for you. If you're here on YouTube, I've got other videos lined up for you that you can watch. I encourage you to watch them. I've got a ton of information in these videos. I love making them for you. So when you're done with this one, watch a couple more, soak up all the information, and then take a lot of action and make things happen.